Hello out there, folks. Your friendly neighborhood hatchet man, Brother Craig here. I pray that you're all well out there here in the plandemic. And we're going to discuss a few things today. I have a little bit, I actually have quite a bit, not a little bit of wisdom to share with you all from the Word of God. And this is Proverbs chapter 6. These 6 things the Lord hates. Yes, 7 are an abomination unto him: a proud look, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked imaginations, feet swift in running to mischief, a false witness that speaks lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren. And as you see in the title of today's program, there's evil being perpetrated on the entire world today, especially here in the United States of America. Okay, the plandemic, the Obama scam, or Obama-Gate, or whatever you want to call it, that Barack Hussein Obama purposely perpetrated evil on not just Donald J. Trump, but he did this to Trump. But more importantly, he did this to us, okay? We who are called by the name of Christ, because it is Christians that elected Donald Trump. Christians made the difference. Christians finally showed up to vote, okay? As a matter of fact, if Christians were to show up and vote, if people were to actually vote their beliefs, I guess I would say particularly their professed beliefs. a lot of us profess to believe some things that you don't find a whole lot of evidence for in the way that we live our lives. But that be that as it may, okay. Just saying people that seriously, set aside for a moment those Christians that, and there are many, okay, it's in the Word of God. Don't get mad at me, okay? It's in the Word of God, those that have a form of godliness but deny the power thereof. That's, 2 Timothy chapter 3. We're going to hit that a little bit today. But set that aside. If Christians that mean well would vote their beliefs, would vote their values, we could take this country back in one election cycle, okay? And then we could begin to, now that doesn't mean it would heal the nation in one election cycle. Hear me now, hear me, okay? But we would be able to begin to put in place in the institutions, okay? Because see, there's a difference between Christian faith in an individual heart, because that's your own individual relationship with God, one-on-one, okay? There's a difference between that and the corporate or the institutional church, okay? There are things that you gain in institutions, and there's things that you lose in institutions. Now, that's just a byproduct of the way humanity is structured. There's nothing anyone can do about that, okay? I don't have a magic wand to wave, okay? The world is what it is, all right? And I think God knew what he was doing when he created it, because it's really a perfect situation, because, as things get harder, people of faith, that your faith is either going to grow deeper and stronger, or your faith is going to be revealed to not be faith, and then you'll be weeded out, okay? One of the Bible verses here, okay, and again, don't get mad at me now, Word of God, not the word of Brother Craig, okay? The strong delusion. Second, you've heard me share this before. I'm going to share it again. It fits what we're dealing with, okay? What I started the program with, those 7 abominations that God hates, okay? We're going to apply them to the people that are perpetrating this evil, and this is satanic, okay? But you know me, folks, I try not to deal with esoteric things and the unseen world, okay? Because well, I don't want to, maybe there's some people that do understand that, but I'll let them deal with that. I deal with taking, biblical truth and applying it to everyday reality. Okay. You know me, I'm a carpenter. I work with my hands. I'm a simple man, and I understand things in ways that are simple and concrete. Okay. To me, 1 + 1 always equals 2. Okay. There's no way, I don't care if it looks like 11, it's not 11. I am a very simple man. Okay. And I try to take our faith, basically I'm trying to take it away from the theologians and all the smart guys. And I'm just trying to give it to the everyman. All right. And so bear with me. Okay. Bear with me. I'm not a theologian. I am an analyst, and God has blessed me with a capacity to analyze things. And I'm doing my humble best to use that gift to the benefit of, anyone, whosoever will let him come, as the saying goes. Okay. And I pray that, when you receive this, that you don't sit on it, that you hand it off, even if it's something as simple as sharing this video. Okay. Go to my website, thereallyrealdeal.com. 5 words, thereallyrealdeal.com. Okay. Real easy to remember. All right. So, those are small things that you can do. Okay. So, because I'm just handing off to you a baton that someone else gave to me, nothing that I'm sharing with you is my invention. Trust me, I'm not that smart. Okay. I've been blessed in a 12-year radio career to interview hundreds and hundreds of people who really are smart. Okay. And who really do a lot of research, and prayerfully, some of that has rubbed off on me. Okay. So now we're here, 2 Thessalonians. Okay. And the key, and I encourage you all to, that's one of the reasons I write all these Bible verses on the description of the program, because I want you to read this for yourself. Okay. It's one thing to see or hear me say it. You need to read it. Okay. So you'll notice I very rarely put, like many people do, they will put the chapter and the verse. I just put the chapter. Okay, I want you to open your own Bible and hunt for the verse. Okay, even if you pull it up online, like I have it up online now. It would take me too long to go from page to page in my paper Bible. Okay, it's online. I have all these, I have a dozen pages up, and I click. But I have the whole chapter up, not just the verse. Okay. Because you need to see it in context. And quite often you need to read the chapter before, the chapter after, get a sense of what was actually being said. Okay. I would never take a Bible verse out of context to manipulate you, but there are many people who do that. And I'm not saying that they all do that purposely, but it does get done. And so you can protect yourself by, just simply reading. Okay. And so this is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. Now the key verse in here is chapter 11. And for this cause, God shall send them strong delusion that they should believe a lie. Okay. Now let's stop right there and ask, okay, what's going on in the world? Okay. You have people, they are walking around with a mask on. They're in the park. Okay. My sweet wife and I took a trip to Northern Virginia yesterday. People, couple walking. And I see the same thing here in Richmond. Okay. But, a couple, they're walking. All right. Walking in the park. They both have on a mask. Okay. Sunshine and fresh air is a disinfectant. All right. It's just like all these folks that close beaches down. You have a third element at the beach. You have plenty of sunshine, plenty of fresh air. You also at the beach, you have salt water. Okay. Natural disinfectants. All right. And so they prevent people from going places where they can get a natural cure, a free cure, sunshine, fresh air, salt water. Okay. These people have also prevented the natural cure quinine, which is, it's a tree, it from the bark of a tree. And when that bark is soaked in water, it's quinine. And so for those that have ever drank, I've never drank a gin and tonic. Okay, now I have drank before, and I've never been a real drinker. I'm just saying, I'm not some guy sitting up on high talking down low, like I've never done anything. Yeah, right. Okay, but the tonic has quinine in it. For 400 years. It's been used medicinally, and it's on the list of essential medications, hydrochloroquine. For 400 years, we did a program here. I think 2 weeks ago, I went through all of that. So go to my YouTube channel, Brother Craig the Hatchet Man, and view that program. I went through the whole history of that medication and seeing the evil that's being perpetrated, the strong delusion as we're reading in the Bible, okay? And so you want to use your Bible to apply biblical truth to everyday problems, all right? Now, no one would complain if I said you can apply the Bible to child rearing. You can apply the Bible to your marriage. You can apply the Bible to your personal home finances. You can apply the Bible to your relationships with your friends and family. You can apply the Bible to all of those things. And there's not a preacher in America that has a problem sharing those things with you, because there's unanimity of agreement in that, and there's no pushback, okay? But when you start saying you can also apply, because you can apply it to anything, which also means you can apply it to politics. You can apply it to the pandemic. You can apply it to a worldwide, nationwide situations. And because in the nation and in the world, you have two views of life, okay? You get a lot of pushback, because one view of life is that our freedom, our liberty is a gift from God. The other view of life is, no, Brother Craig, your freedom is whatever we say it is, because we are in power, okay? Now, that's whether people try to make the excuse like they used to back in the day, hundreds of years ago. Kings, they said the divine rights of kings. A king was appointed by God. So if you listen to the king, that's like listening to God. Okay. Now today, of course, well, even then, they jokers didn't believe in God. It was just manipulating people who believed in God. Okay. And the same thing is happening today, folks. There's no new thing under the sun. They're manipulating you. They're manipulating your kindness. They're manipulating your respect for authority. Okay? And they're playing you. They're playing you. It's the strong delusion. It's truth and falsehood. So let's analyze 2 Thessalonians, and I'll prove to you what I'm saying. But I really, after this is over, I want you to read the entire thing for yourself, okay? So we're going to back up a little bit. Then shall the wicked be revealed, in whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, okay? That says a lot right there, okay? All these men of God out here, watchmen on the wall, okay? Keep not silent day nor night, all right? I've been saying it for years. How many times do I have to say it? That's not a suggestion coming from your Lord. That is a command. Ye that make mention of the Lord, keep not silent day nor night, okay? So why are our preachers so silent, okay? And again, the preachers, they do a great job with the small stuff, okay? Oh, you shouldn't gossip. You shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do that. Fine and dandy. I don't have a problem with that, okay? But what about the big things, okay? The Bible is full of prophets. They spoke, thus saith the Lord, to the king. To the king, okay? When are the preachers going to do that? It's not enough just to speak, thus saith the Lord, to Sally Sue, because Sally Sue is gossiping on Mary Jo. I mean, come on, let's think big, people. Our Heavenly Father spoke the entire universe into existence. He said, be, and it was. He didn't just speak small things into existence. You are called by the name of Christ. I am called by the name of Christ. It is incumbent upon us to act like it. Okay? I have a big brother. His name is Jesus. Who is your big brother? Let's stop playing small ball. Okay? This ain't rocket science here. So now back here to 2 Thessalonians. This is Paul writing to the church at Thessalonica. The Spirit, the Lord is going to consume these wicked people with the spirit of his mouth. Okay? So so if you're going to be like your Lord, you cannot zip your mouth up. Speak no evil. What's that? See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. 3 little monkeys. I mean, is that what it's come down to? Is that what the church has been reduced to? 3 monkeys? Won't say anything? Won't open? It's just like back in the day of Jesus and Barabbas. Okay, Pilate said, I don't see anything wrong with this Jesus. I don't see what the problem is. You know, he wanted to release Jesus. The Roman wanted to release Jesus. Okay, but he had to satisfy the religious leadership. So he said, oh, I know what? Every year at Passover, I release a criminal to you. So we're going to have what? An election. An election. And preachers want to act like, oh, well, we can't get involved in elections. That's politics. We can't get into politics. Most political book ever written is the Holy Bible. Murder of children, kings, people going into slavery, people going out of slavery, armies clashing, armies being destroyed, nations being conquered. It doesn't get any more political than that. Well, grow a set, you preachers out there. Where is your spiritual testosterone? You know, and see, when the people start waking up and the little nickname I have for these preachers that won't do this is Reverend Chickenfoot. And you mark my words, that phrase is going to catch on, okay? And people are going to be demanding, okay, the resignation of Reverend Chickenfoot in the installation of a preacher that's toting a set of onions, okay? And I don't mean baby pearls. I mean shown off onions, all right? Spiritual testosterone, spiritual manliness is written. And again, it's the word of God. It's not the word of Brother Craig. When I was a child, I spake as a child. I thought as a child. I acted as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. And so this is a challenge. This is a challenge. I didn't realize that this sermon was going to be like this. I planned it out one way and it comes out as a challenge. Okay. The word challenge is not even in my notes. Praise God. But, that's what it is. That's what it is. And this is what is needed. Okay. Because there is evil. It is obvious. The people see it. The people sense it. Okay. The video PLANdemic, by Dr. Judy, Mikovits, it's out there, okay? They keep taking it down. People keep putting it back up. It's been seen millions of times. Facebook takes it down. YouTube takes it down, okay? People want to poo-poo the woman. They won't go at the heart of what she says. They nibble around the edges. Oh, well, she said this. She said all around the edges. The meat of what the woman said was that these viruses had to be created in a laboratory because it takes hundreds and now she said 800 years, but she says it takes hundreds and hundreds of years for these viruses to mutate naturally to do the things that they are doing. She said the Ebola virus, they had to train. I don't know what it means to train a virus. I guess that's a way of saying they manipulated the virus in a laboratory. And if you all remember Ebola had a 96% kill rate. 6% lived 94, I'm sorry, 6% live, 94% would die from Ebola. Okay. So I guess the only reason that the people, these Democrats in America, along with their Chinese cohorts, the only reason it didn't release the Ebola virus was it was too lethal. Okay. So they have a coronavirus, which is really SARS-2. They don't call it what it is. The technical name is SARS-2. The one 10 years ago was SARS-1. Okay. And so they're given a different name to make you think it's something new, a novel coronavirus. New, never seen before. Okay. And Dr. Markovitz, she says it has to be manipulated because you can't go from SARS-1 to SARS-2 in just 10 years. She says it takes hundreds of years for these things to do this naturally on their own. Okay. And so this is evil that's being perpetrated on the world, especially the United States of America. Okay. And the people are asleep. The watchmen on the wall are asleep. Ezekiel chapter 33 says God is going to hold you preachers responsible. And I think, well, actually it says watchmen. Okay. Now watch this. The preacher is not the only watchman. Doctors are watchmen. Okay. Politicians are watchmen. Yes, preachers, the men of God are watchmen. Okay. People in the media are watchmen. All right. You have all kinds of people are watchmen. Over your personal family, you are the watchman. Okay. Are you alerting your family? If you're not, you're guilty under chapter 33 of the book of Ezekiel. Because the word, again, don't get mad at me. And I know I'm raising my voice a little bit, but the word of God raises its voice. Okay. I'm just reflecting what I received from the Lord. Okay. I didn't write it. I'm reciting it. And it says that if we failed in our duty as a watchman, if we fail to sound the alarm, then the blood of those that suffer is on our heads. But if we do our job, if we sound the alarm and the people won't listen, then their blood is on their heads. Okay? This is serious. This is serious. Okay? This is life and death. I would highly encourage you all to please share this around. Facebook does so many crazy things with my posts where, I've been doing this for several years now, and where we used to get views and likes and shares in the hundreds and thousands. Now I'm lucky to break 100 because they're manipulating. I don't know what they're doing. Okay. Look, I'm going to pray somebody to help me in this regard. But I know one of the things you can do is you can share. You can go to my website, thereallyrealdeal.com, and you can share these things, and you can tell your friends to watch. You can email me with your questions, your comments, your concerns. Just do it through the website, thereallyrealdeal.com. There's a contact button there, thereallyrealdeal.com. And now I'm getting a little off track here. Let me get back because I have a lot of Bible verses up here, and I like to try to keep these talks to right around an hour or less if I can. Okay. Now we're dealing with people who oppose God, who exalt themselves above God. Okay. Or all that is worshiped. All right. We're dealing with people that for the mystery of inquiry doth already work. He now will be taken out of the way. And then the wicked one shall be revealed. All right. The Lord is going to consume him with the spirit of his mouth. He's going to destroy him with the brightness of his coming. Okay. Now, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan. Satan is working. Okay. Now, this is the difference between the way I share this. Okay. And again, I'm a simple man. I'm a country boy. I'm real simple. Okay. I don't know as much about Satan as a spirit as maybe a lot of my theologian friends. My understanding is simple, that Satan was a fallen angel. He took 1/3 of the angels with him, and he has to have people who yield themselves to his spirit in order to work. Okay. And God works through the hearts and minds of men as well. So we're created with free will. And so we have a choice to make. Which spirit will we be yielded to? Will be yielded to a godly spirit, or we be yielded to a satanic spirit? And so when you hear me say this, I'm meaning the live flesh and blood people walking around here. Okay. Now I have no art with my Christian brothers who say, well, we need to pray for them. Fine. You pray for them. Okay. Book of Jeremiah. And I read this last week in my Mother's Day program. The book of Jeremiah, he says, don't pray for them because I'm not going to hear the prayer because they're so wicked. Okay. Word of God, not the word of Brother Craig. Okay. So if you want to pray for these wicked people, to me, it's like praying for Hitler. I'd be praying for the soldier going to kill Hitler. Strengthen him, Lord. Help him to survive, Lord. Help him to go do his job and then go home to his family, Lord. In the name of Jesus, amen. That would be my prayer, okay? Now, if you wanted to be the joker that's praying for Hitler, Lord, please help Hitler. Help yourself, okay? You help yourself, okay? I'm going to cite the book of Jeremiah to you, all right? I mean, it's a time for everything, as it says in Ecclesiastes. And always it ain't the time to be some super nice guy, so heavenly righteous to the point where you're no darn earthly good. And we live in very tense times. We have a tense situation. We have people in charge. They openly say, Bill Gates openly declares, openly now, the richest man on the planet, okay? He's all in the middle of this pandemic. He has no medical degree. He's not an epidemiologist. He's a software developer, okay? And a shrewd businessman, all right? But he has openly, this is no secret. He has openly said that there's too many people on the planet, all right? And this would not be the first time that powerful people will have engaged in mass killing of human beings. Would not be the first time, okay? Not the first time. So let's not pretend that I'm some conspiracy theorist, which is the label that they put on anyone that speaks a truth that the power brokers do not want to get out. Oh, well, he's a conspiracy theorist. Yeah. He thinks that one lone gunman didn't kill JFK, so he's a conspiracy theorist. Right, okay? Lone gunman, and the lone gunman gets killed by somebody else, you never get to interview the guy. And I'm the conspiracy theorist, okay? The truth of these things, they are so plain. They are so plain, okay? But we have to stop allowing people to come before the cameras. Dr. Fauci, Dr. What's her name? Look at the PLANdemic movie by Dr. Judy Mikovits, okay? Mikovitz, all right? And if you pull it up and it says it's been deleted, find it somewhere else, because people have saved it and people keep putting it up and the authorities keep taking it down. But now, if you find it, you better watch it while you have it, because if you because the first time it came to my attention, I looked at 2 or 3 minutes of it and I was like, wow, this is powerful. I'm going to save this. I'll watch it when I get home that evening. I got home that evening, the thing had been taken down. Okay. Just that quick. But I was blessed because I'm a pit bull when it comes to research. I dug a little bit and I found it again. And so there are a group of people, many of them are doctors themselves, that are sick and tired of seeing people come before the public with white coats on and a bunch of letters behind their name. And, oh, I'm Dr. So-and-so, PhD, MD, this D, that D. Okay, their name is this long and the alphabet behind their name is twice as long as their name. Okay, and they're held up as experts. And Dr. Mikovits has pulled the curtain back. She's saying that a lot of these people have gotten super, super rich off of science being, and this is something that Jesus spoke about, the hireling, okay, versus the true son, okay? And so it's all about the money. They're not in it to do good, okay? Whereas the true son stood between the wolf and the sheep, putting himself at risk because the sheep belong to his father and he loves the sheep. The hireling is in it for the money, and only the money. And so he's not going to do anything to jeopardize himself or his career. And so, so Dr. Mikovits has exposed that a lot of these doctors, they're not in it to help humanity. They're not healers. They're cha-ching, cha-ching. They're making money. Okay. And so these vaccines, they'll create a virus and then create a vaccine. So, and they'll patent the vaccine so that when the virus gets unleashed, the medicine, people get rich off the medicine because people have the right to exclusively profit for X number of years, allegedly to recoup the money that it costs to create the medication. That's their excuse, okay? But what it is that that's fine if it was actually something naturally occurring. Then they would be doing humanity a service and they would be entitled to the money that they earn. But they've created, this is not a pandemic, P-A-N, pandemic. This is a PLANdemic, P-L-A-N. It's been planned, okay? And there's two types of people planning it. One type are people that are just greedy and all they want is money and they don't care how many people have to die in the process of them getting their money. The other group of people are people who want power. And they, just like the people who want money, they don't care how many people have to die in order for them to get their power. So you got those two are working together. The money people and the power people who want to control humanity. All right. And so we who just want to do God's will, we have to fight both of them. Okay. And we have to stick together. We have to be vigilant. We have to hold fast. We have to, pray, support one another, love one another, not rip each other to shreds. Okay. Let me pull back up to Proverbs. This is one of the things they do to us. Now we allow this, okay? Sins of commission, sins of omission, okay? The wicked have things they do. The righteous have things that they neglect to do or fail to do, okay? So, and again, this is in the description of the program. The 7 things that the Lord hates, all right? And I opened up the program with this, but I noticed people are coming on since I opened up. So I'm going to read it again. It's real short. These 6 things the Lord hates: a proud look, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood. All right. A heart that devises wicked imaginations, feet swift to running to mischief, false witness that speaks lies, he that soweth discord among brethren. They're doing all of this in this pandemic. Okay. And the other item that's on our agenda today, the Obama scam, where the revelations are coming that Barack Obama himself directed and orchestrated the attempt to unseat a duly elected president, Donald J. Trump. It basically, it's a bloodless coup was attempted. Okay, the type of thing that we used to read about in the newspaper that happened in third world countries, in African countries, South American countries. Never did we always thought, oh, well, we have the rule of law. We have the peaceable transition of power, okay, which was the example that George Washington set, okay. He served his 2 terms. He said, no, I'm not going to be a king. I'm a president. I'm going to go home. I'm going to work in my garden, okay. Let someone else have it. And so the power not only changed hands from president to president, but from political party to political party, and it was peaceable. And the world was like, they had never seen that before. They had never seen that before. And so we have taken that for granted, because why? Because for over 200 years, that is the way it has been. But no more. It stopped with Barack Hussein Obama, okay? Now, the news media, they're not going to hype it. The Democrats are not going to hype it. The Republicans, they're scared of their own shadows. Bunch of, I call them low-fat Republicans, okay? 0 grams testosterone, 0 grams ability to think outside the box. And on some days, they have 0 grams integrity, okay? And ditto for a lot of my decaffeinated Christians, okay? No juice at all. No juice, okay? Tastes like coffee, doesn't work like coffee, okay? That's right, decaffeinated Christians, Okay? We have to stop that. We have to stop that. Okay? Because this evil, this wickedness, God gave us this country. We didn't give it to ourselves. God gave us this country. There's no way humanity could have done this. This was divinely inspired, just like Israel. Israel was given to Israel by God, okay? And we're the only two countries like this, America and Israel. And this is why when you read about Israel in the Bible, there's so many applications to America today. You don't read about Israel in the Bible and then go look through French history. Oh, where did I see that? It's not there. It's not there in France and in Germany and in England. It's in America. Okay? Because France, Germany, England, Switzerland, fine countries, okay? Just got back from a tour of Europe not too long ago. You know, nice place to visit, okay? But, you know, give me the good old US of A. All right? Because this is a gift from God, okay? And we have to treat it like it's special. Just like your wife, your husband, that's a gift to you from God. Do you treat them like they're a gift? Your children, do you treat your children like a gift? You know, so look at some of us, you know, we wax our car, we put insurance on our car, we pay somebody to detail our car, okay? And then you ignore your wife, okay? You take your children, you ignore your children, okay? Take your husband for granted, you know? Are we treating our country that way? This truth that I'm sharing with you, this is obvious. This is obvious. And it's obvious we're at war. I've been saying it. I've been on top of China for 10 years. You go through my article archive in my website, you'll see articles that I wrote way back when Terry McAuliffe was governor of Virginia, before he became governor. He was running for governor of Virginia. Okay? And I tried to get the Republican candidate, great guy, a good Christian, someone that I consider a good friend, okay? Ken Cuccinelli. I'm not running Ken down. I like Ken, okay? But, okay, typical nice guy Christian, okay? I gave him the information, the China connection. And the article is still up on my website, the China connection. Terry McAuliffe, Bill Clinton. Terry McAuliffe was Bill Clinton's national finance chair for his re-election in 1996. And he got a lot of illegal money from China to help Bill Clinton win re-election. And in exchange, the nuclear tipped missiles that China had on the launching pad, they used to fall in the ocean when they left the launching pad. Enter L'Oreal Corporation, led by Bernie Schwartz, the largest donor to the Democrat Party. And he got a contract to transfer technology to China, which they claim was for communication satellites. Okay. But I mean, what is a missile? Okay. What I mean, it's a bullet with a communications device on it. So it can go to a very precise place. And oh no, we're not going to use for military, only for satellite, only for satellite. All right. Nothing new here, folks. Nothing new here. Okay? Democrats are going to continue to do it until Republicans, and again, sins of commission, sins of omission. Okay? Democrats been doing this for decades, and that's the sin of commission. The Republicans have not been calling them on it for decades. That's the sin of omission. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. I want you to remember this. If you have a pen, write it down, okay? And so if you go to a town hall somewhere and you have some goofball Republican trying to tell you how great he is and why you should vote for him and yada, yada, yada. Well, now, I'm a Republican. I always vote Republican, okay? Always, okay? Even if he's a goofball, okay? So I'm not saying don't vote for the joker, okay? But you can question him, okay? And this is what I want you to question him on, okay? Sins of commission by, you ask him which one is worse, sir, Mr. Low-Fat Republican, are the sins of commission by the Democrats. And then you can list all the things the Democrats do, okay? They want to put a dress on your grandson, okay? They prefer the illegal alien over the citizen. They prefer the criminal over the cop, okay? They prefer, I mean, you just go down the list, okay? There's a dozen things that the Democrats do that are wicked, okay? They teach Islam in schools and they shun Christian faith. And I mean, the list is long. So you ask him, okay, Mr. Low-Fat Republican, okay? Republican governor goofball, Republican senator stupid, okay? Which is worse, okay? The Democrats' sins of commission or the Republican sins of omission, okay? And you can tell him, I want you to remember this. You can say, sir, because in my lifetime, Democrats have been doing these things and Republicans have been letting them get away with it. And this is the example you give them. You say, sir or ma'am, if the alligator gets loose in the zoo and bites someone, am I supposed to get angry at the alligator or the zookeeper? And that's the political question, okay? Do you get angry at the Democrat? You know, the Democrats, they are like communists, they're like socialists, they're like the Muslim fundamentalists. All of them, they say what they're going to do. The Muslims, they say death to America. They're chanting with their fist, death to America, okay? They call Israel the little Satan and America the great Satan. The Holy Book says you can rape a non-Muslim. You can kill a non-Muslim. You can lie to a non-Muslim. They call it tekira. Look that up. Tekira, holy deception. Okay? You can steal from him. These people are making videos telling their fellow Muslims, if you get sick with the Chinese virus, go down to the police station and cough on someone. If there's no one to cough on, spit in your hand and rub it on all of the doorknobs, on the handles of the cars. They're actually making videos teaching people how to engage in biological warfare. They're doing this right now. Their holy book gives them cover to do these things, okay? And it's the same with the Democrats. They openly say, we want to. I mean, Barack Obama, he openly said, we're going to, destroy all the coal plants, okay? We're going to remake the healthcare system. He said before he got inaugurated, we're going to fundamentally transform the United States of America. He didn't say we're going to make some improvements or this is a great nation and I want to make it greater. No, fundamentally transform. What about that do you not understand, people? Do you understand what the word fundamental means? Okay, fundamentally transform. Okay, they say these things openly. This is nothing hidden, okay? You can pull a video up with thousands of school teachers at a teachers union meeting, and the union representative comes up there and he says, it's not about the children, it's about our money. And the thousands of teachers, they give the man a standing ovation. This is in the open. This is in the open, okay? At the 2004 presidential convention in Charlotte, North Carolina, the Democrats voted God off the island. They did this openly. There were thousands of people. It was in a big basketball stadium where the Charlotte Hornets play. Tens of thousands of delegates were there. And this was done in the open. You can pull the video up. You can see this for yourself. Democrats boo God at convention. Just Google that, okay? And watch the video for yourself, okay? The Democrats came out. It was brought to their attention that the platform of the party did not have a single mention of the name of God. So they basically had to lie. They had to change the platform to mention the name of God, okay? To cover themselves, because they have a lot of Christians have been fooled into being Democrats. So they need to keep those Christians on the plantation. And so they come out and they voted to amend the platform. All in favor say aye. All opposed say nay. The nays outweighed the ayes on 3 separate votes. They did it 3 times. Each time the yays got less and the nays got more. And after the 3rd time, he banged the gavel and he said the amendment is passed. And I mean, the cascade of boos that came down on him, because by him being in leadership, he knows he has to lie. And the people that are followers, they're tired of lying. They're ready to be an open demon. Okay? They're a demon and they're wicked and they don't care who knows it. But the people in leadership, they know that truth is the antidote. Sunlight is the disinfectant. Okay? So they have to maintain a shroud of darkness. Okay? They have to, let me go back to 2 Thessalonians again. They know, see, there are people that do not love truth and they're easy to manipulate. All right. So here we go again. Now I'm further down. I'm in verse 9 there, still 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. Okay. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs. And there's a certain type of wonders here. It says lying wonders. Did you see how I rolled my tongue? Lying wonders, okay? Word of God. And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness. All right, and it's going to tell you in a certain type of person, in them that perish, okay? And it's going to give you a reason, because, okay? Because they receive not the love of truth that they might be saved, okay? It's going to go further. This is God talking. This is not Brother Craig talking, okay? And for this cause. So this is God giving you a reason why. God, not Brother Craig, not you, not Reverend Chickenfoot, okay? Not low-fat Republican, not decaffeinated Christian. God is doing this, okay? Read it for yourself. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. And for this cause, God shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie. Now check this out, because this is like God telling a certain class of people you need to go to hell. I didn't write it, okay? I'm just reading it. Don't get mad at me. And for this cause, God shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie, that they all might be damned, who believed not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. Okay? Reverend Chickenfoot ain't gonna preach like that. I'm just saying, okay? And I have no ought against preaching Christianity 101, because there's a time and place for that, because, you know, new Christians can't take what I'm giving you, okay? So we all have a starting point, okay? But many of the people that are in my audience came to Christ, you know, maybe like myself. I was a teenager when I came to Christ, okay? And then I allowed dust to grow on my Bible, okay? And then for a few years, actually, when I was 19 years old, I got hooked up with Muslims, okay? And so for 2 or 3 years, I was with them, Nation of Islam Muslims, okay? And they fed me all kinds of lies, and they came with all this strong manliness, because as a fatherless youth, that appealed to me, because that was a part of my life that was missing, that strong father figure to guide me into manhood. And so that they drew me in with that, okay? But soon thereafter, my desire to not be controlled, because Islam means submission. And see, there's no submit in me, okay? So my natural stubbornness and being a self-thinker, it caused a clash. And then one day I got in a fight with one of the ringleaders, okay? The guy actually walked over and kicked me in my mouth, just totally unprovoked, no reason at all. What happened was I had went out on my own. I was 20 years old, and I went out. I may have been 21, but I went out and I got myself a General contractor's license, okay, which I'm still a contractor to this day, okay, and but I went and bought a van. I was having job trouble, so I figured, well, I just create my own job. So I went and got me a general contractor's license and bought myself a truck and some tools. And I showed up at a meeting one day and started handing out business cards. And so they took exception to that because I was supposed to ask permission before doing that. Okay. Think about that. Okay. Here I'm 21 years old and I'm married. I have a family that I have to take care of, and I'm taking care of my family the best way I know how. And some joker, because they have a faith that believes that you have to submit, there's a hierarchy. And me as a young person, I'm supposed to go to the older person. I'm supposed to ask permission and seek his guidance. Basically, the joker wanted a piece of my action. That's, boil it all down. That's all the Joker wanted. He wanted to be a silent partner. But anyway, he kicked me in my mouth. I fought him. We all trained in martial arts 5 days a week, okay? So we really did know how to fight, okay? And we fought, okay? And then we were separated and I was put out, okay? So from coming to Christ at age maybe 14 or 15, something like that, and up, then 19 and then 21. Okay. And so now I'm just kind of floundering. Okay. And I did that for some years. I floundered. Okay. And so now I'm back in the fold, have been for quite a number of years. And so I have an affinity for people whose lives have taken them through, the crooked path, and what's that old song about the crooked path that brought me straight to you, speaking of the Lord. And so I know about that crooked path that brought me straight to God. And maybe you out there, you've had a crooked path that have brought you straight to God. And so you are the one that I speak to, okay? You who have life experience, okay? You can take it when I dish it out tough, okay? And I know I dish it out tough, and I know I'm off-putting to some people. That's just tough, okay? If I'm a little off-putting, they're going to have to turn the TV on and watch that slick-haired guy down there in Houston with all his soft words, and, that's fine. He has a role to play too. The book of Nehemiah talks about how when the wall was being rebuilt, each person built on the wall right near where he lived, okay? And so I have to build on the portion of the wall that's appointed to me. I can't build on, I forget that guy's name. And a lot of seasoned Christians don't like him. I have no art against the guy, okay? Because I think God can use anybody, okay? God can use Reverend Chickenfoot. God can use these people that speak softly. Now, I wish more of them would kind of mix it up and maybe once or twice a month come into the pulpit and peel some paint off the wall. Now, I'm not saying you got to do that every Sunday, Reverend, but you got to keep folks on their toes, okay? Let them know you're a man of God. And every now and then you got to come in there and say, act like you're talking to the governor or the senator or the president and say, thus saith the Lord. Okay, the Bible is full of men that did that. And if it's okay for them to do it, it's okay for you to do it. It's okay for me to do it. Okay. And, I do understand that when you have a congregation, you have a responsibility to people at every level of development. And so there are going to be times when your preaching is going to have to be geared towards people who need milk, okay? But please, Reverend, don't ignore the members of your flock that have had all the milk they can take, okay? They might be ready for a steak, okay? And so you got to give it to them, brother. You got to give it to them, okay? All right, I'm getting a little off subject now. Let me get back on it. And if you, and I see all of the people out there, and I'm just going to wave. I see the little wave symbol, and I don't know how to do that on Facebook Live, but I'll just do it like this. I really appreciate you all being there. I thank you. As a matter of fact, I see my cousin there. God bless you, brother. And yeah, he and I, we were like this when we were kids in Newport News. We used to walk to school together We wouldn't even catch the bus. We would walk. Okay. It was like a little adventure every day. We could go down and we jump the creek. We wait for the train to come, put some money on the train track. The train would flatten the money. And then we pick the money up, take it to school and sell it to somebody. That's me and my cousin Ned. I see you there, brother. But now back to let me get my place where I was, because we're still dealing with the evil that's being perpetrated on the world and the nation, this pandemic, and it may be hard to accept, but there are people that really they want more death. Okay, the Democrat leadership, and again I see some people out here. And some of you, I know you're Democrats, so trust me now. I'm not talking about you. Now, I've been doing this on air for 12 years, and for 12 years I've had my foot up the rear end of Democrats, but I'm always careful to say, I don't mean you, Ma and Pa Democrat. I'm talking about the leadership, okay? And when I jump on the Republicans, I say the same thing. I don't mean you, Ma and Pa Republican. I'm talking about Republican leadership, okay? Because they both have these sins. The Democrats have the sins of commission. They do evil things prolifically, huge evils. And the Republicans have these sins of omission. They neglect to defend properly and expose as the word of God instructs them to. Okay? So these two types of sin, they work hand in hand to create the type of society we have. Okay, if the Republicans would just speak up, and the Christians, and if the preachers would just preach the word of God, the whole counsel of God. Okay, and as a matter of fact, I'm gonna do a little something here. I'm just gonna bear with me for a minute. This is not in my notes, and but it's Ecclesiastes 3. Okay, and so I could cite it by memory, but if I do that, I'll stumble over it a little bit. Okay. And so, and I do this from time to time. And seeing this is the thing that I need my Christian brothers. And, you know, if it offends some when I say decaffeinated Christian or low fat Republican, you know, my purpose is not to offend for the sake of offending. Okay. My purpose is to wake people up. Okay. Jesus spoke in a manner that offended people. Okay. And he said many would be offended. Okay. As a matter of fact, in the book of John, chapter 6, verse 66, after walking with the disciples, and they were saying to him in verse 60, this is a hard teaching. Who can hear it? Okay. That's what they saying to Jesus. Okay. And so when and they had a little conversation, it got up to 666. And it said, after that, many who used to be with Jesus walked with him no more, because they got offended. They got offended. Okay? So if I offend someone, it's not my goal to offend you. But if you do get offended, okay? Now, in Islam, they'll cut your head off if you don't believe, okay? In our faith, Jesus simply says, if they don't want the truth, knock the dust off your feet and keep moving. Okay. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to deliver the truth, and anyone that doesn't want it, I'm going to knock the dust off my feet, and I'm going to keep on stepping. All right. So I love you all out there. And this is a ministry of love. It's tough love, tough truth. Okay. And trust me, I wouldn't do this if not for love. Okay. It's like the soldier doesn't kill because he hates the enemy. The soldier kills because he loves what is defending. Same thing with the cop. The cop doesn't kill because he hates the criminal. He loves law and order. Okay? So let's just, keep it straight here. But anyway, Ecclesiastes, to everything there's a season and a time to every purpose. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to pluck up. A time to kill, a time to heal. A time to break down, a time to build up. A time to weep, a time to laugh. A time to mourn, a time to dance. A time to cast away stones, a time to gather stones together. A time to embrace, a time to refrain from embracing. And it doesn't mean with the COVID virus, okay? It means, with that's a spiritual thing of, you got your game face on and I'm not hugging you. We're not talking about anything with a virus, okay? A time to get, a time to lose, a time to keep, a time to cast away, a time to rend, a time to sow, a time to keep silent, a time to speak, a time to, check this one out, a time to love, a time to hate, a time of war, a time of peace, okay? Now, this is what some of us want, okay? Some of us want this, particularly my Christian brothers and sisters. They want to live in a world where all they have to do is be born, plant, heal, build up, laugh, dance, gather stones, embrace, get, keep, sow, speak, love, and have peace. Okay? So I guess they must be smarter than God, because God created a world where you have to do both. You can't just do one, okay? You can't just do that which is easy to do, that which is pleasing to do, that which will give you friends and hosannas and, a TV contract and all that, okay? You just can't, okay? Both are necessary. Both are necessary. And what a wise man does is a wise man listens to the quiet voice of God directing him when to do what, okay? When to do what. So enough of that one. Now, back to the evils that are being perpetrated, okay? A little bit of the Obama scam, Obama-Gate, whatever you want to call it, okay? And again, this is one, I've been on this, the news media, they own the late show as always. I'm always, well, I won't say always. Typically, I'm first and I'm early with these type of analysis. Okay, so 3 years ago, I was on this, and you can go back through a lot of my old videos and old programs, and you'll hear me saying this. You'll hear me quoting this exact verse, Book of Luke, chapter 20, verse 20. Okay, and I remember when Trump said they're spying on me, or I think his exact words were, they're tapping my phones, okay? And they all laugh. People don't tap anymore, thinking of, you see an old movie where somebody, they crawl up under the house and they have this old fashioned machine and with the wires and they clip it here and they clip it there. Well, modern communication is more sophisticated. And so it's done so easy today. All right. And you don't have to crawl under a person's house. You can be in a remote location and do it. OK. And so the media, and they knew that this was being done. Obama was doing it. Obama was president, and all the people under Obama, high level people, these were not little minions. These were people that Obama personally hired, directors. OK. These were not mid-level and low-level people doing these things, okay? And now there's a paper trail that links Obama directly. And so now all of a sudden the media, well, some of the media anyway, Fox is on it. And, every now and then I'll check CNN out just to see what the devil has to say. But, they're saying, oh, well, it's a conspiracy theory. Same thing they always say when they don't want the truth to get out. It's a conspiracy theory, okay? Now, verse 20, they did, and see, Jesus did say, they do these things to me, they will do it to you, okay? So don't be surprised. That's Book of John, chapter 18, I believe it is. I don't have that one pulled up, but, look it up, verify it. If I'm wrong, email me, all right? Probably not wrong. But now, Luke chapter 20, verse 20, for 2020 vision. And they watched him and sent forth spies, which should pretend to be righteous men, that they might take hold of his words, so that they might deliver him unto the power of the authorities. Now, do I have to read that again? Because that was done to Jesus Christ 2,000 years ago, And that was done to Donald Trump 3 years ago. Okay. They watched Trump. They sent forth spies. These spies pretended to be righteous men. They take hold of Trump's words so that they might deliver Trump to the power of the authorities. Okay? And so now, Daniel chapter 6. Okay? And you think this is new. This is not new. Okay? Now, this Daniel, in the name of Daniel, you just think Trump, okay? Now, this Daniel or Trump was preferred above the presidents and princes, okay? Because an excellent spirit was in him, and the king sought to set him over the whole realm. Now, in America, we the people are king because we get to elect our president, okay? And we elected Trump, and we set Trump over the whole realm, okay? Then the presidents, that's Obama and Bush, okay, the presidents, and princes, that's the senators, the congressmen, the media, the power brokers, okay? They sought to find occasion against Daniel, Trump, concerning the kingdom. But they could find no occasion nor fault, for as much as he was faithful. Neither was there any error or fault found in him. Now, let me stop there. They do find some personal character flaws, faults in mannerisms. You can find that anywhere, and plenty of it in me, okay? But in how he does his job, there was no fault, okay? Then said these men, we shall not find any occasion against this Daniel, except we find it against him concerning the law of his God. Then these presidents and princes assembled together to the king, in our case to the people, and said thus unto him, King Darius, live forever. All the presidents of the kingdom, the governors and the princes, the counselors and the captains have consulted together. See, Trump calls that the swamp, okay? So it's right here in the book of Daniel chapter 6. We have consulted together. That's a conspiracy, okay? Now, they would say it's a conspiracy theory like you poo-poo it. Now, here's describing it in the Bible. Have consulted, and they're saying it, have consulted together to establish a royal statute to make a firm decree that whosoever shall ask a petition of any god or man for 30 days, except to the king, he shall be cast into a den of lions. Okay? So nothing new under the sun, folks. Nothing new. Okay? They could find no fault against Daniel. Daniel's the outsider. The king is impressed, brought Daniel in, put Daniel over top of everybody. The people that's been there forever and a day, the swamp of that time period. They get jealous, and this guy, he's going to expose our evil. We have to get rid of him. Same thing today, okay? Got to get rid of Trump. Trump is exposing our evil. Now, this is what Trump needs to do. He needs to expose the evil of this virus PLANdemic, okay? Dr. Mikovits has alleged that the Ebola virus and the SARS virus, which is the corona is SARS too, okay? They named it COVID, okay? COVID stands for CO is for COVID, VI is for virus, 19 is for the year 2019, COVID 19, COVID-19, okay? Typically, these viruses are named to give you where it came from. Okay, swine flu came from pigs. Okay, Spanish flu came from Spain. Okay, Ebola virus came from the Ebola River in, I forget which country in Africa, but one of the African nations. Okay, and now Dr. Mikovits maintains that the Ebola virus was manipulated in a laboratory to jump from animals to humans, that it would not have done that. If it would have done it, it would have taken 800 years for it to mutate, a step at a time. Okay. but the step that it took, it was like a leap. It was a leap year, okay? And she says it's the same thing with the leap between COVID-1, which is what was called, you may remember the SARS virus, okay? And SARS-1 was 10 or 12 years ago. This one is SARS-2, okay? And so she says that it would not have morphed the way it has in just a 10 or 12 year period of time. It had to have been manipulated in a laboratory. So the people that are trying to debunk the video, and the video is titled PLANdemic, PLANdemic, PLANdemic. Her name is Dr. Judy Mikovits. I encourage you to look it up, okay? And if you find the video and it says it's been deleted, find a different link, because every time someone puts it up, the authorities take it down. But a lot of people have it, so they keep putting it back up, okay? And so they have people looking for it, and every time they find it, they take it down and someone else puts it up. So it's like they're playing whack-a-mole. Whack it here and it pops up over there. So, and when you find it, record it, okay? Download it so you'll have it. And look at it immediately. If you don't download it, look at it immediately, because the first time it was sent to me, I looked at 2 or 3 minutes of it, and then I thought, wow, this is powerful. I'll finish watching it when I get home, because I was in the middle of something. When I got home, it had been taken down, okay? So if you get it, hold on to it and share it, okay? Put it out on your social media. So again, you're a watchman on the wall, okay? Now, if you mention the name of the Lord, do you? I'm asking you, okay? Do you who are watching, do you mention the name of the Lord? If you do, now if you don't, that's fine too. But if you do, it says, ye that make mention of the Lord, keep not silent. If you make mention of the Lord, you're not supposed to keep silent about it. You are supposed to be a watchman, and you're supposed to sound the alarm, okay? And that is a requirement. That's not a request, okay? Now, if you don't want that weight put on you, don't mention the name of the Lord, okay? Just go about your life, okay? But I am a watchman on the wall. I am a man of God. That is by, well, I don't know if that's by my choice or the Lord's choice, but that's my role, okay? And that's my calling in life. And so it is incumbent upon me to do this. And so that's why I don't apologize for being a little off-putting or hitting it a little hard. And if every other preacher was hitting it hard, then I might be the guy. I might have to say, oh man, everybody's hitting it hard. Somebody has to hit it soft. Okay. But since everybody else is hitting it soft, I have to say, okay, somebody has to hit it hard. Okay. And because we live in hard times, and truth can sometimes be hard. Okay. But a wise father knows how to wield that power for the benefit of his children. And I'm a father, and I had to do that. I made a decision to do it very early in the lives of my children, so that as they grew, they wouldn't need correction, because I corrected them early. But now we live in a society where there's not been a lot of correction, and so people have grown up without that, and the society is very permissive, and so people are so easy to get offended. And I can't help that, okay? All I can do is pray that the peace of God would be upon people, and that they would be able to accept things and analyze them. Don't let the brick wall go up. Reserve opinion, hear the whole story, and then pray on it, and then make a decision, okay? But we live in evil times. We live in times when there is a strong delusion that is deluding people to believe lies, because basically they're not people of truth. You have a political party that says a boy is not a boy unless he wants to be. A girl is not a girl unless she wants to be. Now, the truth is, if you take a puppy home to your 3-year-old, and the first question they will want to know is it a boy or a girl? Now, you can't tell your 3-year-old child or grandchild, you can't tell them, Well, we're going to wait till the puppy grows up and see what the puppy wants to be. See, because the 3-year-old is too smart for that. The 3-year-old will lift the puppy up. Oh, Grandpa, it's a boy. So that's truth. And that's simple. It doesn't take a long, drawn out explanation. You don't have to have 26 genders. Okay? You don't have to write a book. You don't have to bring an expert in to explain it. A 3-year-old can explain it. Okay? Just like 1 + 1. Okay? Some shrewd, slick, cheating businessman, he could tell you, hey, Brother Craig, 1 + 1 really equals 11. Let me prove it to you, man. You know, I have $1 million in the bank. You have $1 million. We put them together. We'll have $11 million. And so if you just give me your million, I'll put it with my million. And $11 million, man, that's a $9 million profit. I'll meet you back here next week and I'll give you your half of that $9 million profit, $4.5 million. And your 1 million will grow to $5.5 million. Isn't that a great deal? One problem with that, I can count. Okay, and I know 1 + 1 does not equal 11. I don't care that it looks like it. Okay, 1 + 1 is not 11. It's 2. Okay, but see, there's some people that look at things by their appearance, and so the media is able to manipulate them because they know they're not going to look very deeply into things. A lot of times the articles they write, the headline in the first paragraph is a lie. Then to cover themselves, they'll give you the truth in the last paragraph. Okay? Like when they were talking about all this Russia collusion. In the first paragraph, they're drawing a supposition. Okay? Oh, well, suppose there's a president who's beholden to Vladimir Putin, and they're making you think it's Trump. Then the last paragraph, they'll say, well, now, of course, there's no real connection. Well, they've had 10 paragraphs of painting a picture for you. And then and they know most people are not going to read the whole thing. Most people are going to look at the headline and maybe the first paragraph, and that's it. Okay? And this is how the media lies to you. This is how they make you hate people. This is how Hitler was able to kill 11 million people. He made people hate the Jews. Okay? This is how the Muslims are able to do it. In the school system, they teach the children. Right to this day, 2020, Muslim school books say Jews were created from pigs and apes and all this kind of stuff. As a matter of fact, when I was hanging around Muslims in the Nation of Islam, they said that the white man is the devil and the white man was grafted from the cat, rat, and the dog. Okay, they actually taught that. Okay, and that the black man was a god. And that he was some kind of way he had a raw deal, and that God was going to come back and deal with his enemy and put him on top of the world. Okay, it's nonsense. Okay, all of it is nonsense. That is nonsense. The way the Muslims teach about the Jews is nonsense. The way the Democrats tell you that Republicans hate you, that's nonsense. They want you to hate Republicans. They want you to hate police officers. They want you to hate rich people. They want you to hate white people. Except for the white people that spread these lies. That's what they call, use a good little white man. Okay? Or the billionaires that tell you how evil billionaires are. Or use a good little billionaire. Okay? They're insulating themselves from the hatred that they're teaching you. So you're supposed to hate the billionaire that does not lie. The billionaire that lies to you, he's a cool billionaire. You see, and if you examine the net worth of the leadership of the Democrat Party, and if you examine the party affiliations of most billionaires, if you would bother to just do a little bit of research instead of taking that looks like 11. But that's 2. It looks like 11. Okay? So if you were to just dig just a little, it doesn't take a whole ton of research, folks. You can do something as simple as take the top 10 richest Democrat senators, okay? My senator, one of my senators from my home state in Virginia is Senator Mark Warner, okay? And he's not an old man. He's a relatively young man. He's the richest senator in the country, okay? Did he invent something? No. Okay. Did he work long and hard? No. Okay. How did he get rich? A government hookup. Okay. He's not quite a billionaire, but he's worth several $100 million. Okay. In his first year as an aide to then Senator Chris Dodd of Connecticut. Okay. This guy got wind of licenses being given away by the federal government for this new technology called cell phones. Okay. So he went and got some of the rich people that were donors to Senator Dodd that he had met through his government connection, got these people to pool some money together, and he got a piece of the money that they got these free. The government that used to give them away back then. Their excuse was, it's a new industry, we have to kind of plant the seed. That's always the excuse. They're planting the seed with people that are rich and connected, okay? And so this guy, through a government hookup that you and I do not have access to, he got rich off of that, all right? And so he walks around now touting his vast business experience, and the stupid Republicans don't have enough sense to challenge this joker at every turn to say that what he did in the 80s is illegal to do that today, okay? Back then it was not illegal, okay? But he did it, and that's how he got rich. Not off of his smart business acumen. He got rich because of a government hookup and his avarice, his greed, and his not caring about ethics, okay? And so if you examine, and now he's a guy that likes to poo-poo rich people, Republicans, you know, and the world is full of people like that, okay? You look at the richest man on the planet, Bill Gates, Democrat, okay? The third richest man, Warren Buffett, Democrat, okay? Several others that are in the top 10, most of them are Democrats. I don't have the full list in front of me here to read you the names, but these people are billionaires. Okay, Tom Steyer, big billionaire Democrat. They're not millionaires, billionaires. Okay, Oprah Winfrey, billionaire Democrat. Okay, big Democrats, but yet and still, billionaires will tell you, the public, that billionaires are evil. Okay, I mean, come on now. Come on. Billionaires. See, the Democrat Party is a coalition. Well, all parties are coalitions, okay? There's no monolithic party, okay? But primarily, not 100% now, but the uber rich people and the uber educated, people that have 4 and 5 college degrees but don't have a real job, okay? They have some stupid thing that they do for the government. They live off of grants and, you know, like Dr. Fauci, a guy like, you know, he's get these $600,000 or these $10 million grants, okay? This woman, a black lady who's doing the 1619 project, trying to tell you that America, the true birth of America was not 1776 when we broke from England, but 1619 when the first slaves came to America, okay? And then, so she got a $600,000 grant to write that lie. Okay, because the settlers came here prior to 1619. Okay, and the first slaves that came, the first blacks that came here were not slaves; they were indentured servants. So the whole thing is a lie on multiple levels. But because white people are afraid to challenge black people who cry racism, so they leave it to guys like me. Okay, because I'm not afraid of anyone. I fear only God. Okay, I fear no man. No man, no man, okay? And so I speak truth, and I don't care who it offends or for whom it is inconvenient. It does not matter to me. So if you follow the money, okay, the lies they're teaching, they're literally teaching you to hate. And you go back through history, okay? what the Turks did in Turkey, okay, over 100 years ago, killed over 1 million Christians, okay? Again, what Hitler did, not just to the 6 million Jews, but to the 5 million Christians, 11 million people. How did he do that, okay? He did that two ways he did that. Number one, he made people hate the Jews. And number two, there was a spirit of wanting to be nice people and comply and not fight back. Okay. And so this is how these things happen. And so I'm trying to fight both of those. I'm trying to fight the spirit of teaching hatred, the spirit of lies, and the spirit of people who are Christians being nice people and not fighting back and just taking it. And that's what I see that's happening, all this compliance with these silly rules and regulations. People driving in a car and you have a mask on. Well, you have a mask on, you're in your car by yourself. You're walking in the park, you have a mask on. There's sunshine and fresh air. What are you afraid of? Okay? It's ridiculous. Now, if you're going to visit someone in the hospital, yes, put on a mask. Okay? Put a mask on. But the viruses, and again, this is in the video, Dr. Mikovic's, the viruses are your friend. The bacteria, they're your friends, okay? Because they, inside your body, there's an equilibrium. The white blood corpuscles, the good bacteria, the soldiers, they fight the invaders, okay? And so there's a balance there, and it's a little tip to the good soldiers. Now, when your immune system is weak, they go down. Another thing makes them go down when they don't get exercise. And so when you quarantine and you're wiping everything down and you're minimizing your exposure to germs, then the part of your body that fights the germs, they atrophy because they're not getting that workout. Okay? And so this is why when you see little children eating dirt, that's good for them. Because what it's doing, their body is building an immunity and a capacity to fight germs. Now, the child that you rear in a perfectly clean environment, you never let them go outdoors and play, never let them get any fresh air and exercise. That's going to be a sickly child that in the future, not if a virus or illness comes, but when it comes, because it's always going to come. Their ability to fight it off is going to be a lot less than a child who was able to run around outdoors, get dirty, maybe put something dirty in their mouth, get plenty of fresh air, plenty of exercise, because their body has an ability because of the practice. That's just what the body does. It's constantly inside your body. There's a constant battle. Okay. There's a constant battle. And so what we're doing, and the people that are doing this, they know what they're doing. They know that come this fall, the virus is going to rebound. They want it to rebound because it'll be election time and they're going to blame Donald Trump. Okay. In spite of the fact that, and again, these are open lies that they told. I see several of you still on the video. You can pull this up yourself and you can see these people saying right back when there was an impeachment against Trump, Trump blocked the Chinese airplanes from coming into this country in January, okay? And throughout, for 2 months after January now, when Trump was fighting this, they were calling him a racist, a xenophobe. Oh, this is overreaction. Oh, you just hate China. Oh, you just got this China thing because of the trade deal, yada, 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 okay? So for 2 months, well into March, okay, so the end of January, the entire February, and into March, you can find videos of the governor of New York, the governor of California, the senator from okay, from California, the mayor of New York. New York City as a mayor has 8 million people under him. That's more people in my state of Virginia. The city of New York has more people than my state of Virginia. So he's in effect, he's like a little governor, okay? But these people, they were telling folks, come on, there's nothing like a cold. Even Dr. Anthony Fauci. I don't know why Donald Trump has not fired that joker, Okay? You can find yourself, and I encourage you to look this up. You can find video montages of Democrats saying the COVID virus is nothing. Okay, you can just, it's easy to find. Okay, and you can see them say this in their own, this is nothing hidden. Okay, this is not hidden. You can also find it, CNN, all of the hosts, Donna Lemon, all of them. Okay, Rachel Maddow. Okay, all of these people that are now saying Trump's not doing enough. All of these people said Trump was overreacting. Come on down to Chinatown. Come on to the Chinese New Year. Come down in Louisiana. They said, come on to Mardi Gras. And these people knew what was happening. They wanted more death. And Donald Trump wanted less death. And yet they teach you to hate Donald Trump. They're teaching you to hate. It's just like with Jesus. They were teaching people to hate Jesus. They said, give us Barabbas. Oh, well, what am I supposed to do with this Jesus? Crucify him. They want you to crucify Donald Trump. Okay? And so I'm encouraging you, and I think it's time for me to probably close it. I've got a few more Bible verses, but I've been going on for quite a while here. But these people, and it's hard to accept, folks. I know it's hard to accept, but it's the truth, okay? They wanted more death. They wanted more infected to come here so that the death toll could be greater. And again, there's two reasons. Because see, there's only three reasons why people get involved in public life. There's only three, okay? They're going to make money, they're going to gain power, or they're going to do God's work. Now, I'm involved to do God's work. I don't have any money. I don't have any power, okay? I'm trying to do the will and the work of God. I've received a precious baton. I'm running my leg of the race, trying to hand the baton off to you, okay? And I hope when you get the baton, you do something with it. Now, these people are going to either sell medications or they're going to sell a vaccine. These people own the patents. Dr. Mikovits exposed the fact that back in the 80s, the medical community was able to take ownership of patents, even though at a state-sponsored university, which means taxpayer money paid for the research, okay? But the doctor who is the head of it, the ownership of the patent would go to him, okay? And so these people own the patents to medicines. And so this is why they poo-pooed President Trump pushed hydrochloroquine, because hydrochloroquine, it's been working for 400 years, okay? And then the form you buy today is 65 years old. It's been purified over the years, okay? It's 400 years old in 1820 in a liquid form, just the water from soaking the bark in water. Then in 1820, a powder form. Then in 1934, it was made and it was refined further. 1944 was refined further still. And then in 1955, the form that you get today. And there's been not one case of death. So it's very safe. It's very effective. It works. Okay. But they've been preventing people, and many places they've even made it illegal. They've threatened doctors that if you prescribe hydrochloroquine, we're going to take your medical license from you. And they're doing this because they want a medication that people can make money off of, okay? That's the money side. Now, the power side, they want people full of fear. So you'll blame Trump and vote Democrat so they can have power and so that they can destroy the economy and build communism on top of it. So they keep proposing this bill. We're going to give $1,200. Now we're going to give $2,000. Now we're going to give $5,000. Okay. And so people that don't think, okay, they think, ooh, that sounds good. I'm starving, and so they're, and the government's going to feed me. All right. And so this is all a trick. And again, and this is not in my notes, but I'm going to give you one more Bible verse. Okay. The book of Genesis, chapter 25. As a matter of fact, I think This will be, and what we'll do is next week we'll go through Nehemiah chapter 4 and 5. We'll go through book of John, chapter 3, verse 12. Okay. And that one basic is Jesus is saying, I tell you earthly things and you don't believe me. How you going to believe me when I tell you heavenly things? Okay. And what am I telling you? I'm telling you earthly things. This is math. This is science. This is history. This is what I'm telling you is provable. You can pull a video up and see, well, yeah, Brother Craig knows what he's talking about because I do. Okay. So these are earthly things. Okay. And a lot of preachers won't preach this. This is simple. This is 1 + 1 = 2. But then they're going to tell you heavenly things, a lot of times things they don't even know anything about. Okay, it used to be this big thing, a debate in the Catholic Church, how many angels could dance on the head of a pin. How stupid. How stupid. You know, what use would such knowledge be even? You know, the head of a pin, how many angels can dance on it? All right. I'm trying to give you practical knowledge. All right. So anyway, I think that's probably enough. But the story, the final story I'm going to give you, and I don't have this one pulled up, and I don't really need it pulled up. But this is, I think it's right around verse 34, but it's chapter 25 of the book of Genesis. And this is Jacob and Esau. Okay. And so, think about the food situation in the country. When you see videos of farmers with fields and fields of vegetables, and there's no one to pick the vegetables because there's no market for the vegetables. And it's out in the middle of nowhere. It's not like you can invite people to come out and pick it themselves. It's too far to drive to get, $50 worth of vegetables. All right, so the farmer has to plow them under. The government is telling people you have to kill all of your chickens. You have to dump your milk out. You have to shoot your cows. But they're importing cows here from Namibia. Okay? I want you to think. These are your Democrat politicians doing this. And your Republicans are not stopping them. The Republicans are just doing the same thing they always do. They're complaining about how evil and wicked Democrats are. Well, we get that. What are you going to do about it? You're just going to let them do it and all you're going to do is complain about it? What good is complaining about Democrats done? For my whole lifetime, Democrats have been doing what they've been doing. I was born in 1961, and in 1962 was the year the Democrats got God kicked out of public schools. No more prayer. As a matter of fact, I interviewed the gentleman, William Murray. I interviewed him twice. His mother was the one that brought the lawsuit in Baltimore in 1962 on behalf of her son, William Murray, that banned public prayer in school system throughout the United States of America. This is Democrats. And people want to say like, oh, this is the country did it. Like everybody in the country is guilty. No, Democrats did it. Democrats did it. Okay? And Republicans were impotent to stop it. All that Republicans did was complained about it. Well, I'm sick and tired of your complaining. I want you to do something about it. Okay? Grow a set of onions. So anyway, back to the story of Jacob and Esau as it relates to the food situation. Okay? They're wanting farmers to kill their beef, kill their chickens, plow their vegetables under. Okay, but then they want to import beef from Africa, from Namibia. What are they doing? They're trying to bankrupt America and now Trump's trying to make us less dependent on the world. The Democrats want us very dependent on the world. Why? Why? Because they want one world government. They can easily manipulate and control Africa. It's you and me in America that they can't manipulate and control. But they figure if they can starve us, okay, if they can scare us with this virus that they've built up, that this is how they're going to control us. And so Esau said to his brother, I'm hungry. Feed me. Read this for yourself, folks. Chapter 25, starting at around verse 34. So verse 30, verse 34. The story of Esau and Jacob. And Jacob said to his brother, sure, I'll feed you, but first you have to do something for me. Sell me your birthright. And so Esau said, well, since I'm going to die anyway if I don't eat, what good is the birthright going to do to me? So I agree. I'll sell you your birthright if you feed me. All the answers to what is happening in this world are contained in the Holy Bible. And I'm going to repeat before I close. I challenge the men of God out here to stop being a decaffeinated Christian, a nice guy Christian. Start preaching today. Start preaching the whole Word of God. And I'm going to have to let that be the last word, folks. I'm getting a little hoarse. And my sweet wife probably wants me to come spend a little time with her. So I'm going to do that. I encourage you to spend time with your loved ones. I pray that you are well, your families are well, your children, your grandchildren, your parents, your grandparents, your mentors. I'm so blessed. My cup truly does run over. I have a 100-year-old grandmother. I have my mother. I have mentors that have sown so wonderfully into me. Even though there are many times when I didn't listen, they didn't give up on me. And so between my mentors, my grandparents, my mother, my sweet wife, and the Lord, these people have made me the man that I am today. And I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful. And I would just pray that the Lord would bless you and keep you, that the Lord would make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. And the Lord will lift up upon you his countenance and give you peace. And God bless you out there, each and every one of you. And hopefully we'll start doing these a little more often. We do them every Sunday now. And I ask you all to please share this video. And please go to our website, thereallyrealdeal.com. God bless you out there. I'm going to see you. If I don't see you sooner, I am going to see you next week right here, folks. Same Hatchet time, same Hatchet station. God bless you.